Hello, everyone, and welcome to Bow and Arrow Tarot. And this, the weekly love tarot reading for the water sign of Cancer. We're going to jump right in. I've already been shuffling off camera for quite some time, so let's get right into it. Just remember, these readings are not going to resonate for everyone, and this is a love connection reading. So we're going to be taking a look at a connection that Cancer has with someone and the state of that connection. All right, so we'll be pulling cards for Cancer. We'll be pulling cards for the other person as well. So let's get right into it. Cancer, you start off with a Wheel of Fortune, Hermit, Nine of Cups, and the Seven of Wands. Okay, your person comes in with Three of Cups, Page of Pentacles, the Magician, and Five of Cups. A heartache here, right? Okay, so what's at the bottom of the deck? We have Queen of Swords. All right, if we can get that too. And what do we have at the bottom of the deck? Of course, that beautiful Queen of Swords. Talking about honesty, you know, revealing yourself, right? Letting that veil down. Wow. So there's a little bit of sadness here, but we'll get to that, Cancer. Hermit energy. Some of you may be dealing with a Virgo, but this week comes in with Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune, when that wheel turns for anyone, Cancer, you know, events come in. People assume that those events are always just good luck, but sometimes they on the surface can seem like, oh wow, this is not such great news or a great event, but ultimately in the end it is for the best. I feel like this energy is coming in for you this week. Things are happening this week that really sort of you know, put the wheels in motion towards where you're supposed to be when it comes to this love connection. Now, your person is coming in with Three of Cups. They're busy with friends. They're socializing. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of frolicking and, you know, partying. There may be some drinking. You know, they're just really getting into sort of the swing of things. It feels like a very spring atmosphere. Let me begin to pull out some clarifiers, shuffle my deck. But now, it's interesting. This is how they come into the week. But when you see them, you see a lot of sort of hermited energy, right? I think that up until now, we're going to get clarifiers, but up until now, it seemed like they've really been to themselves and quite solitary, right? But let's see, first of all, what is going on? I want to see what's going on with that Three of Cups. Okay, Knight of Swords energy. They're purposely sort of moving away. They're purposely sort of making, not moving away from you, but what I'm saying is they're moving away from this solitary vibe that they've been having up until now, right? Something is going on with them that's making them very active all of a sudden. There's a lot of movement. For you, Six of Wands, yes. Well, you're coming in with a victory. Again, this week is really, really lucky for you, Cancer. There's a lot of good things that are happening for you this week. But again, let's see some more about that Hermit. So some things are being kept from you. I want to say that you may be, listen, some of you may be dealing with somebody who is very much like a split personality. And I don't mean like in a sense that, you know, that they are suffering, like, but I'm saying that they have like really two sides to them. King of Cups is their devil energy. They have two sides of them, and you're seeing this, right? Hermit, devil energy. It almost feels as though Cancer, the person that you're dealing with, is somebody who can really get pulled to the edge. They have friends. Some of their friends may not be so great for them, you know, or in your eyes, right? There's a feeling here that you're like, uh-oh, you know, are they starting to do that again? Are they starting to play with fire again? I don't like this person. They're not a good influence on them. This is this devil energy coming in. Something to remember, though, with the devil. And of course, this is the card for Capricorn, Cancer. So some of you may be dealing with a Capricorn. But with the devil, we have to remember it's not all bad, bad, bad. The devil also represents that Kundalini energy, that fiery, extremely creative energy that, yes, indeed, it resides in the second chakra, which is the chakra of reproduction, the chakra of the genitals, etc., the chakra of creating life, right, associated with sex and passion. But it's also our greatest wellspring of creative energy. What is the most creative thing that anybody can do? Create life. And of course, that life is created through that chakra and through sex, passion, desire. So it's two sides of a coin. And part of this energy that your person is coming in with, Cancer, is they're just really enjoying themselves. Try not to worry too much. I feel like they've been really alone for a while. You know, they've been kind of on their own. You right now are having a really good time also, Cancer. I think they see this too. So when we're looking from their point of view, they see that right now work is great for you. You're busy. It's fresh. Things are fresh. And you're active. And you're also coming in with this great accomplishment this week, aside from your love connection with this person or your connection with this person, Cancer. This is a really great week for you. Just in your life, things are happening. But Queen of Swords is at the bottom of the deck to remind us that we always need to be really, really honest with who we are. And we need to be honest with our partners. If there's something concerning you here, then you need to talk about it, right? And I think also your partner here needs to be honest with you in the sense of, okay, Cancer, yeah, you may be worried and stuff, but everything's fine. I'm fine. I don't feel toxic energy here. Okay, so if you're coming to this reading, Cancer, today, of course, you're here for a reason, right? If you're watching this video, perhaps you've come for some reaffirmation on this love connection. Perhaps you are a little anxious. You've had a little bit of worry on your mind. Well, you know, if you're resonating with this, in this reading, from my point of view, there isn't too much really to worry about it. It's mostly just a fear. Justice, balance is there. And Seven of Cups, unrealistic expectations. Try not to have too many unrealistic expectations on your partner, okay? Yes, indeed, they may have left a certain kind of life behind, and they're in the process of rebalancing that. Right? They're in the process of finding a balance between enough of this and enough of that. Allow them to be able to sort of let loose. Ultimately, you're happy in this relationship. And ultimately, your partner is going to show themselves to be very, very capable here in this relationship of maintaining themselves. But you want to watch out for these unrealistic expectations. Okay? You do want to watch out for that. Now, there is a little bit of challenge here. Your person is coming in toward this end period with a Five of Cups. And this is usually a position for a possible sort of future energies coming in. There is a heartache that's coming into them. A loss of some kind. I don't think that it's associated with you, but I think it's coming in. And I'm not saying that it's a loss like, okay, when we talk in tarot of a loss, never ever talk about death, okay? This is just not something that the tarot is about. It is supposed to be about, and that should be a red flag to you if you ever find a tarot reader that begins to talk about that. When I talk about loss, I mean a severing of a tie, a loss of a relationship, an ending of a connection with somebody, perhaps a friend, something like that. That's really going to hurt their heart. And it is in that moment, I think, where you're going to have to do some extra work and be careful. You're worried here about the partying, but the partying and the hanging out with friends is not what you need to worry about. There's your Three of Wands. Is not what you need to worry about. What you need to worry about is this kind of sad, oh, wow. Okay. All right. Did you see that? Of course you did. You're watching, right? Look at this. Very rare, but it happens. And in my readings, okay, Five over Cups, Five over Cups. absolutely devastated at the breakup, the loss of the severing of this, right? And it is in this moment, Cancer, where you're going to need to be worrying about your partner, because this is the type of, you know, this is the type of energy that this sad kind of loss energy, this is the kind of energy that really draws people to the dark side, you know, that really, really, this isn't about just hanging out with friends and having fun, but this is relapse energy, right? So be careful there. And I'm not saying that your person is, I'm not saying anything about what they're going through, because we can't be that specific. This reading may resonate with several of you Cancers out there that have different variation in the specifics of your situation is different, but the general vibes and energies are the same. You're dealing with somebody who has a tendency to go a little bit too far to the pleasure zone, too far to playing with fire and playing with the type of behavior and activities that can cause addiction, and base energy. And yet, at the same time, right now, for them, they're really sort of embodying the creative side of that. But here is where you're going to want to watch out, as I said, in the future. Now, you're going to need more information. More information will come to you for you to really figure out what's going on. Take your time. Don't be hasty. All right, let's begin to pull out your animal spirits. Remember, honesty is really the most important thing here. Honesty. Queen of Swords is there because only through honesty can you guys be clear about your options, what you need to do, how you need to handle, especially if your person is suffering a loss here. Take care, right? Take care. So, requiring honesty of those around you requires you to be honest with them too. So there's that. And also, as I said, your person is going to show themselves to be quite resilient, but this coming energy into them will be something that's very difficult for them. Gazelle and the raccoon. The gazelle, we're talking about grace and vulnerability at the same time. Fire animal spirit. Honestly, these are like the potato chips of the savannah. They're so vulnerable. Gazelles, wildebeest, etc. But also, especially gazelles. Yes, they're very fast. They're very graceful. But they're hunted all the time. And so, this is the animal spirit of someone who's hyper alert for devastation, for something that's going to really hurt and devastate them. So this is an energy of that. This energy is there. Also, grace under pressure energy there too, right? Okay, so, and now we have the raccoon. They are the animal spirit of talent and dexterity. They can do anything with anything. They can turn anything into a tool, right? To further their sort of objective or accomplish their task, right? Very, very resourceful, very earthy. And that animal spirit is coming in here too. In terms of Cancer, again, with this partner of yours I feel there's concern here. There's love here. You're happy. You're both very happy in a relationship, but there's concern, and there's going to be a lot of different tools in your basket that you're going to be able to use when you need them to help them out. There will be a period of sadness that your person is going through. Let me keep that Magician on top to remind you of how resilient your person is still going to be. And let's pull out those oracle cards. All right, so Spirit of the Scales. So that's your balance coming in. We see that with Justice here. Karma, Justice, Spirit of the Pumpkin, and Demon Spirit. Right? So this is what we're talking about. Spirit of the Scales. Those Karma, Justice coming in, balance coming in. All right? This is your person definitely doing that right now. And Spirit of the Pumpkin, Autumn, Harvest, Night, Midnight. So oftentimes this spirit will come in as a time sort of energy, and it seems almost as if, Yes, in the harvest time, the autumn time, the several months in the future is when a lot of things will come together. And of course, this card, listen, demon spirit, all right? This is exactly what you're kind of concerned about, right? Demon spirit, being tormented, fear of the shadow self. Watch out. The fear is what you need to fear. Fear is the biggest thing you need to fear. There's a president who said that once. Famous words, and it's true. Don't let the fear cripple you. Don't let it make you sort of act in a way that ultimately creates exactly what you're afraid of. Exactly the scenario that you're afraid of. So you have to watch out for that. But you have everything that you need to help your lover out. And these are going to be some difficult times for them. But as I said, don't worry too much. This is much more of a reading for a Cancer who is in love with somebody who's going through some difficult things right now. And it may be that, you've come to this reading wondering if your love connection is in jeopardy. Well, your love connection itself is not at all in jeopardy, but your person will need you. All right, Cancer, this is your weekly love tarot. I hope you got something out of it. I hope it did resonate for some of you out there. If it doesn't resonate at all, that's fine. Just leave that on the table. That just means that the message is not for you this week. Perhaps next week or one of my previous readings will be more to your situation and more connected to you. But for right now, Cancer and Cancer Cross Watchers and everyone who came to this reading, I wish you love, life, and happiness. Please do consider hitting that like button, subscribing, notifying of my next premieres. But that's it. That's all. That really helps my channel, and that's all I really ask for. And for right now, I'm going to say have a wonderful week, and I hope to see you guys in your next reading. Bye-bye now.